welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a concept that's revolutionizing how we think about waste and resources, the circular economy. This isn't just about recycling anymore. It's about rethinking our entire economic system to be more sustainable and efficient. Stick around because by the end of this video, you'll see why the circular economy is a game changer for our planet and our future. Some people think circular economy is just a recycling system, but it's actually more than that. It's fundamentally redesigning our economy to be sustainable from the ground up. However, I've always been frustrated by the complexity of the term itself, circular economy. It sounds so sophisticated and filled with jargon that can intimidate people who aren't already familiar with sustainability concepts. This complexity makes it seem more complicated than it really is. At its core, the circular economy is about common sense principles, reducing waste, reusing materials, and recycling. Circular economy focuses on designing products and systems that keep resources in use for as long as possible, extracting the maximum value before recovering and regenerating materials. The circular economy is all about creating a closed-loop system where resources are used, reused, and recycled, minimizing waste and their environmental impact. But how exactly does this work, and why is it such a transformative idea? Before we dive into the present and the future of circular economy, let's take a stroll back in history to understand how we got here. Our journey with managing waste began centuries ago. The linear economy, take, make, dispose, dominated industrial practices for most of the 20th century. This model led to enormous waste and environmental degradation. By the late 20th century, the limitation of this approach became clear. Environmental movements in the 1960s began advocating for more sustainable practices, leading to the recycling and waste management systems we know today. The concept of a circular economy began to take shape in the 1980s and 90s, influenced by the work of scholars like Walter Stahl and the publication of Cradle to Cradle by William McDonough and Michael Braungart in 2002. This book was pivotal in redefining how products could be designed for continuous reuse. Back to today. The circular economy is at the forefront of sustainability strategies worldwide. But what makes it so revolutionary? Let's break it down. The circular economy is built on three key principles: designing out waste and pollution, keeping products and materials in use, and regenerating natural systems. According to the Ellen MacArthur Foundation, implementing circular economy principles could save Europe 600 billion euros annually and reduce carbon dioxide emissions by 48% by 2030. The fact that the circular economy is so versatile is another reason it's a game changer. From fashion to electronics to food systems and urban planning, circular principles can be applied across all sectors. Companies like IKEA and Apple are leading the way with ambitious circular economy goals. IKEA aims to become fully circular by 2030, using only renewable and recycled materials in their products. Apple, on the other hand, has committed to becoming carbon neutral across its entire business by 2030, and that includes their supply chain and product lifecycle. Apple is therefore applying circular economy principles directly to the iPhones in your hands through several innovative practices aimed at sustainability and resource efficiency. I once read about their process of material recovery and it's so interesting. They actually developed a very sophisticated disassembly robot named Daisy, which can take apart iPhones and recover valuable materials. Daisy can disassemble 15 different iPhone models at a rate of 200 devices per hour, allowing Apple to recover and reuse rare earth elements like cobalt. This process significantly reduces e-waste and the need for new raw materials because they use these recycled materials extensively in their new iPhones. For example, the aluminum used in the enclosures of many iPhone models now comes from 100% recycled sources. I'm sure you also know about how they encourage users to trade in their old iPhones, which are then refurbished and sold as certified pre-owned devices or disassembled by, you guessed it, Daisy. By integrating these practices, Apple ensures that the iPhone in your hand is part of a sustainable life cycle, from material recovery and recycling to renewable energy and refurbishment. That's an exact representation of circular economy. Alright, so let's have a look ahead at the potential of circular economy in the future. The global market for circular economy technologies and services is expected to grow exponentially, driven by regulatory changes and consumer demand for sustainable products. But think of it, these business initiatives are not just about reducing waste, they're actually creating new business models and driving innovation. However, like any major transformation, the circular economy faces challenges. The main hurdles are redesigning supply chains, changing consumer behaviors, and creating the necessary regulatory frameworks. So the transition to a circular economy will obviously not happen overnight, but the economic and environmental rewards are worth it. It's just like the early days of renewable energy, challenging at first, but with high potential for growth and impact. So what does this mean for you? Whether you're a sustainability professional, a business leader, or just someone interested in reducing their own waste, hats off if that's you. Understanding and supporting the circular economy is crucial. From a personal daily life perspective, whether it's clothing, furniture, electronics, vehicles, or buildings, we often surround ourselves with objects that we use only for a limited time. Typically, the resources extracted from our planet to create these items are used briefly and then discarded. But we need to remind ourselves that most of these resources are non-renewable and finite, which brings us to a crucial point: the importance of adopting the principles of circular economy in our daily lives. By embracing a mindset of reducing, reusing, and recycling, we can significantly minimize waste and preserve our planet's resources. If we are not actively helping, let's at least make sure we're not harming. I'll leave you with that thought, and if you learned something new today, please subscribe to my channel for more deep dives into sustainability concepts. And I'd love to hear from you. How are you supporting the circular economy in your daily life or business? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and thanks for watching.